how did a small country like the Netherlands become an economic powerhouse, one might ask? Well, let's trace the roots, shall we? In the early days, the Netherlands was home to Celtic and Germanic tribes. These tribes were no strangers to trade and industry, and their knack for commerce was only further nurtured under Roman rule. The Romans, known for their empire-building prowess, brought with them a wealth of knowledge and resources that spurred growth in the region. But, as with all great empires, the Roman rule didn't last forever. By the mid-3rd century, a Germanic invasion swept across the land, ending Roman control. Yet this was not the end, but rather a transition. The Merovingian dynasty took the reins, followed by the Carolingian dynasty in the 7th century. Under these new rulers, the area embraced Christianity, which played a significant role in shaping the cultural and societal norms. And while these dynasties brought change on many fronts, they continued the Roman tradition of trade and industry, further embedding these practices into the fabric of what would become the Dutch economy. The 12th century marked a turning point. The Dutch embarked on a journey of transformation, from large-scale dike building to land reclamation from the sea. This was no small feat. It was a testament to their resilience, innovation, and strategic planning. Flanders, a region in the Netherlands, became a hub for textiles, a move that placed the country on the map as a major player in the industry. By the early 16th century, the Low Countries, as the region was known, fell under Spanish Habsburg rule. Despite the change in leadership, the Dutch continued to forge ahead. They took the lead in fishing and shipbuilding, laying the foundation for what would become an era of remarkable prosperity. So though Roman control ended, the seeds of economic prosperity were already sown. These seeds would grow and flourish, transforming the Netherlands from a small country into an economic powerhouse. And this, my friends, was just the beginning of their remarkable journey. The real economic transformation began in the 12th century. As the Middle Ages dawned, the Netherlands embarked on a grand project of taming the sea. Large-scale dike building and land reclamation began, transforming marshes, lagoons, and even parts of the sea into fertile land. This ambitious endeavor not only expanded the country's territory but also created the foundation for a prosperous economy. Around this time, Flanders, a region that is now part of Belgium and France, emerged as a vibrant center for textile production. The Dutch, known for their entrepreneurial spirit, were quick to capitalize on this. They developed a thriving industry, creating high-quality linen and woolen goods that were in demand across Europe. Trade flourished, and the Dutch economy began to grow and diversify. However, the dawn of the 16th century brought a new power to the region: the Spanish Habsburgs. While their rule was marked by religious conflict and political turmoil, it also brought about economic changes. The Dutch, who had always had a close relationship with the sea, began to emerge as leaders in fishing and shipbuilding. The country's strategic location, with its extensive coastline and numerous rivers, made it ideal for these industries. The Dutch mastered the art of shipbuilding, producing vessels that were not only robust and reliable but also faster and more maneuverable than those of their competitors. This gave them an edge in the increasingly competitive world of maritime trade. At the same time, the Dutch became the leading fishing nation in Europe. Their innovative techniques and superior equipment, coupled with their extensive knowledge of the North Sea's rich fishing grounds, allowed them to catch vast quantities of herring, cod, and other fish. These were salted, smoked, or pickled and sold across Europe, generating considerable income for the Dutch economy. These developments in shipbuilding and fishing didn't just boost the country's economy. They also laid the groundwork for the Netherlands' future successes in global trade and exploration. These developments laid the foundation for Holland's remarkable prosperity in the 17th century. The stage was set for the Dutch Golden Age, a period of unprecedented economic growth and cultural flowering that would see this small country become a major player on the world stage. Welcome to the Dutch Golden Age, a period of immense economic growth. This epoch, nestled in the heart of the 17th century, witnessed the Netherlands morphing into an economic juggernaut. The country, once a patchwork of tribal territories, had now become the world's dominant trade power. The Dutch East and West India Companies, or VOC and WIC as they were known, were the linchpins of this economic boom. These twin titans of trade spun intricate webs of commerce that spanned continents. Their ships, laden with spices, textiles, and precious metals, plied the world's oceans, connecting the Netherlands with distant lands. However, the Dutch didn't just excel in trade. They also led an early industrial revolution, harnessing the power of wind, water, and peat. Windmills, an iconic symbol of the Dutch landscape, were not just picturesque structures, they were the engines of industry, grinding grain, sawing timber, and pumping water. Simultaneously, an agricultural revolution was taking place. Dutch farmers, applying scientific principles to agriculture, increased crop yields significantly. This not only fed the burgeoning Dutch population but also supplied the foodstuffs for the VOC and WIC's global trading network. These twin revolutions, industrial and agricultural, catapulted the Dutch economy to new heights. By the mid-17th century, the Dutch enjoyed the highest standard of living in Europe, if not the world. But as the saying goes, all that glitters is not gold. Around 1670, the Golden Age began to tarnish. A combination of political and military upheavals, coupled with adverse economic conditions, began to eat away at the Dutch prosperity. The economy, once so vibrant, began to lose its luster. Yet the Dutch were not ones to accept defeat. They sought new economic avenues, venturing into whaling, establishing colonial plantations in Suriname, and exploring new types of trade with Asia. These ventures, though risky, demonstrated the Dutch's indomitable spirit and their determination to adapt and innovate. Despite the Golden Age's end around 1670, the Dutch economy found new ways to thrive. The country's economic journey is a tale of resilience, innovation, and adaptability, a testament to the Dutch's ability to weather storms and emerge stronger. So, let's continue unraveling this fascinating story. The end of the 18th century brought challenges that tested the resilience of the Dutch economy. As the century drew to a close, the Netherlands found itself embroiled in wars with two major powers, Great Britain and France. These conflicts, coupled with political upheavals within the country, created a volatile environment that was far from conducive for economic growth. The Dutch economy, which had once been the envy of the world, was now in a precarious position. The wars had drained the coffers of the Republic, leading to a sharp increase in sovereign debt. This debt was not just a burden on the state, but also on the common people, who had to bear the brunt of increased taxes and reduced public services. Meanwhile, political instability made it difficult for the government to implement effective economic policies. The political landscape was in constant flux, with power shifting between various factions and the central government often finding itself at odds with provincial authorities. This lack of political cohesion hampered efforts to revive the economy and restore public confidence. The economic crisis was not just a result of external wars and internal politics, but also of shifts in the global economic landscape. The rise of new economic powers, such as the United States and Germany, and the increasing competition in international trade, posed significant challenges for the Dutch economy. This was a time of crisis indeed, but it was also a time of change. The Dutch economy was forced to adapt to these new realities. The focus shifted from traditional sectors, such as fishing and shipbuilding, to new areas like colonial plantations and trade with Asia. These ventures, while risky, offered opportunities for growth and diversification. The crisis was severe, but the Dutch economy was far from finished. Even in the face of adversity, the Dutch showed their resilience. They found ways to navigate the challenges, to innovate, and to adapt. The crisis of the 18th century marked a turning point in the economic history of the Netherlands, a period that would shape the country's future trajectory and set the stage for its rise as a major global economy. In the 21st century, the Netherlands boasts a strong, highly regulated mixed economy. Fast forward to the present day, the Netherlands is a powerhouse in the global economy. It's not just tulips and windmills anymore. This little country has made a big impact, showing us that size isn't always an indicator of power. The Dutch economy is robust and well-regulated. It's a mixed economy, which means it combines private and public enterprises. The government, businesses, and individuals all play a role in determining the economic direction of the country. Now let's talk numbers. The gross domestic product of the Netherlands was almost $1 trillion as of 2022. That's a whopping $991.11 billion. This reflects the total value of all goods and services produced over a specific time period within the Netherlands. But that's not all. The economy is growing at a steady rate. In 2022, the growth rate was 4.48%. This growth rate is a good indicator of the economic health of the country. It shows that the Dutch economy is not just stable, but also expanding. The population of the Netherlands is over 17 million, that's 17,564,014 to be exact, and the GDP per capita, $56,429. This means that the average income per person is quite high compared to many other countries. And what about inflation? Well, the inflation rate was just below 1% in 2022. That's 0.99%. This low inflation rate is a sign of a healthy economy with stable prices for goods and services. The Netherlands is a shining example of economic resilience and innovation. It has shown its ability to adapt and innovate from the days of the Roman Empire through the Golden Age to the present day. From its early days to its Golden Age to its present status, the Netherlands continues its remarkable economic journey. It's a tale of resilience, of adaptability, and of strategic planning, and the story is far from over.